What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Good Success Quick Tips. I am Josh Culler, and with me today we got Daryl Audis, and Daryl is actually in the same building that we're at right now. He is the president or owner, or is it both? Owner of Caps Rental Solutions?
Caps Property Management.
Caps Property Management. I was going to get it at some point. I was just shooting in the dark. But he owns a rental management company called Caps. And if you guys want to check them out, it's rentcaps.com.
Yes.
All right, so Daryl's actually going to talk about tenant make-readies today, and this is something he's had a lot of experience in. He's actually in our Good Success Mastermind and talks a lot about that stuff. So, Daryl, what do you have for us today? Let's talk about tenant make-readies.
Okay, well, as far as tenant make-readies go, they can be a pain point for our investors.
Well, tenants can be a pain point.
Tenants can be a pain point, yes, but they are your source of income,
yes.
So we got to take care of them. Mm-hmm. But tenant make-readies can be a huge pay point for an investor. Tenant make-readies can get expensive very quickly. You're walking into a 1,200 square foot home, 1,500 square foot home, 1,750 square foot home, and if a tenant left it in bad condition, the numbers can add up really quick as far as making it tenant ready. So there are some common sense things you can do to lower your costs when it comes to tenant make-readies. And the first thing I want to recommend is that when you do get a tenant that vacates a home, whether you evicted them or whether they moved out on their own, you set up an inspection very quickly. You get your inspector in there to take pictures of damages, record those damages, and fill out a tenant make-ready checklist, which we have. And I'm not going to go into that today. I just want to keep this real short. But that's the first thing that you'll need to do, and you need to establish what is going to need to be done in order to make that property tenant ready again. But what I've noticed a lot of times is you walk into a property and right away you get discouraged because you're like, oh, they left all this junk in the property, and oh, it's so dirty, and oh, these walls are messed up, and it's going to take carpet cleaning, and maybe I need to replace that carpet, and I've got to take all this stuff out of there, and you just see dollar bills flying out the window. But what I always like to do first thing is just get all of their junk out of there and then have the property cleaned. Now, I know a lot of people will wait until you're all done with all the work at a property before you'll clean it, but the reason I recommend that you clean it up front is because a lot of times once you get the stuff out of there and you get that property as clean as you can, you're washing down walls, you're washing down trim, you're washing down doors, you're vacuuming carpets. I don't recommend you have the carpets cleaned just yet. But you get in there and get it as clean as you can, then you walk through to determine what really needs to be done to this property to make it tenant ready. All of a sudden, where you thought you're going to have to paint all of the doors and all of the trim, you walk in and it cleaned off pretty good, So you just saved yourself maybe $700 or $800 worth of painting, and you're just going to come in and do a little bit of touch-up painting, and you're in a lot better shape. You see several walls cleaned up real good, and there's just this one wall in the bedroom where the kid was a little crazy, and you're going to have to paint out that one wall. Well, that's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time over painting out all of the walls. So first thing you got to do, go in there and get it just as clean as you can up front without doing any other work. And that's something that you can generally get done really cheap. You can get guys that'll go in there, trash out service, haul stuff away real quick, real cheap, and then get somebody in there to do some really, use some elbow grease and get that thing just as clean as you can. Then, secondly, when it comes to painting. Now, I know a lot of people like to use flat paints or even satin paints on your walls because that hides more blemishes. But as far as rental properties, I'm not really worried about hiding all of the blemishes. I'm not flipping this home. I'm not putting it on the retail market and selling it. What I'm looking for is durability. So when it comes to painting that home, I recommend highly that on the trim and on the doors, you use semi-gloss or even high-gloss paint. Now that's almost unheard of, especially in the retail market, but that high gloss paint has a hard shell on it, like a turtle shell.
Yeah.
And you can clean that 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times before you have to paint it again if they didn't scratch it up too bad. So that's going to hold up a lot better. And then for the walls, use semi-gloss paint. And again, it doesn't look as good. You're going to walk in and you see blemishes, and a flipper is not going to use semi-gloss paint on the walls. But as a property manager, you look at things a little differently and you wonder, how many times can I wash that wall before I got to paint it again? And that's what we're looking for. And I've never had a tenant walk into a home and say, well, I'm not going to rent your home because you use semi-gloss paint instead of flat paint. I've never had that happen.
That's high maintenance.
Yes, and that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run to have that turtle shell on there that you can wipe the stuff off of. So start by cleaning the property real good. Get as good and clean as you can before you have your contractor put together his tenant make-ready bid. Secondly, use high-quality semi-gloss paint on the walls, and then if you can, use the high-gloss paint on the trim and doors. And then lastly, clean is what rents your home. It needs to be clean and it needs to be functional. It doesn't have to have granite countertops. It doesn't have to have the nicest finishes. It doesn't have the best of everything. But clean is what rents the home, so clean is what we're really after. And if you do get the tenant make-ready done, don't just get it contractor clean. The contractor is going to go in there and he's going to paint it, he's going to repair it, he's going to fix it up, he's going to wipe his dust off, take his tools out, and he's going to be gone. But it's going to be dusty in there. You know, it's not going to be sparkling clean. It's not going to be, I want to put my food in that cupboard clean for the lady that's seeing that property. Somebody else has used that toilet. You know, you want that thing to sparkle. You don't want to buy a new toilet for $150 and have it installed there, but you want it to be sparkling clean and smelling good. So at the end of your tenant make-ready, take the extra time to have it professionally cleaned. We can generally get a house cleaned for about $300. That's not real cheap, but we want it sparkling clean and then smelling good. Make sure the person that cleans it also installs air fresheners. And so people walk into the home, they're walking up to the home, they see everything nice and clean and organized, the lawn's been mowed, curb appeal looks as good as you can get it, and they walk into the home and it's clean. It's sparkling clean. It doesn't have brand new carpet, but it's clean. And the smell, it smells good. And they're walking around the home and it shows a whole lot better that way. And cleanliness doesn't cost a whole lot. It just takes a lot of work. And but that's what we need to do to get these properties turned quickly.
Awesome. And how many doors do you have?
275.
So obviously Daryl has tons of experience in this, and so you guys take this and apply it to yourselves if you guys are renting a property out. This is some great stuff. So Daryl, thank you for being on the Quick Tip today. We're actually going to have him on a podcast very soon too, so you guys be on the lookout for that. So thanks for being on.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that's going to do it for today's Quick Tip episode. And this video did give you value. Make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up, and then like our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel, however you're coming to this video by. And that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.